You've been quiet for too long. Not because you were weak, but because the world demanded your silence. They dressed your rage in manners. They smothered your truth with fake smiles. You swallowed fire while they handed you spoons of ash and called it peace. But peace for who? For them, not for you. You watched, you waited, you absorbed every strike, every insult, every cold shoulder. You wore chains they couldn't see, forged from expectations, from guilt, from betrayal. Every link, you memorized it. Every restriction, you sharpened beneath it. They thought they tamed you. But the beast inside wasn't asleep. It was listening. Silence isn't submission. It's the tension in the air before a storm breaks. It's the breath a warrior holds before the scream. And now, the rattle begins. They said it was for your own good. They dressed control in concern and called it protection. But the truth? They feared you. They feared what would happen if you spoke too loud, if you stood too tall, if you dared to be more than they could measure or manage. So they clipped your claws, tied your fire behind your teeth, chained your storm in a smile, and dared to name it love friends, family, the ones who swore they'd never turn. They didn't need to stab you in the back. They just smiled while they buried you alive. Like Caesar, you bled, not from strangers, but from the hands you once called home. The cage wasn't built from steel. It was built from expectations, guilt, gaslight, silence. You didn't break because you were dangerous. You were broken because they knew you were powerful. And now, they pray you stay tame. Let them pray. You're not kneeling anymore. You smiled like a ghost, not to show peace, but to hide the predator beneath. You walked like a shadow, lightless and unnoticed, because silence made you invisible, and the invisible are the most dangerous. They looked in your eyes and saw emptiness, but inside, storms howled, steel burned, gears turned. They thought you were soft, because you didn't strike first. They thought you forgot, because you didn't flinch. But what they didn't know was that you studied them like prey. You memorized their footsteps. You traced every lie they whispered through their teeth. You let them believe they were kings, while you were building your kingdom behind your teeth. You weren't sleeping, you were sharpening. Every smile you gave was a mask with fangs behind it. Every breath you took fueled the furnace beneath your skin. The beast didn't die. It learned how to play human. Snap. That's all it took. Not a scream, not a war cry, not even a warning. Just one more lie, one more shove, one more betrayal delivered with a smile, and something deep inside you cracked. No, not cracked, split open. And what came out wasn't rage, it was revelation. You didn't lose control, you took it back. The silence didn't end with a whisper, it detonated. They expected you to kneel. You stood, They expected you to flinch. You stared through them. They expected you to beg. You made the ground beneath them beg instead. The world didn't hear your scream. The world became your scream. Every chain melted. Every leash burned. Every name they forced on you, erased in flame. You didn't break. You broke out. And now, the leash is ash, and you're not walking anymore. You're running, and nothing can stop you now. You don't walk anymore. You charge. You don't move with hesitation. You move like a storm unchained. Every step crushes a lie. Every breath spits truth like flame from the mouth of a machine built to destroy illusions. You run, not to escape. You run because justice is screaming your name in thunder. You run toward what they told you to fear. Let the earth tremble beneath your return. Let the weak remember the smirks they wore when you were bound. They made a monster? Good. Because monsters don't kneel. Monsters don't ask for mercy. They take what's owed and burn what's false. Run until they remember every time they laughed, every time they ghosted you, every time they treated your silence like surrender. Run until their chains rattle, not on you, but around them. You're not chasing redemption, you're collecting debts. And tonight, you run like the world owes you blood. You don't need crowns. You wear scars like armor, proof that the fire didn't consume you. It forged you. They called you cursed when they thought you were beneath them. Now they call you king, because you stopped trying to be understood and started making them understand fear. You are what happens when silence grows teeth. When pain doesn't break you, it becomes your blade. You are the consequence they prayed would never come. Their hands once buried you. Now those same hands tremble in your presence because they know they didn't kill the beast, they trained it. Your rage isn't wild anymore. It's surgical. A hurricane trapped in a soldier's heart, waiting for a command. And now, you are the command. You don't knock on doors anymore. You tear them off the hinges. You don't ask for space. You take territory. Let the cowards kneel, because the beast doesn't crawl anymore. The beast walks upright now, and it builds thrones from the bones of those who thought it would stay tame. Legends aren't born, they escape from chains, from silence, from graves. They claw their way out of the dirt the world buried them in and become prophecy. You were the warning they ignored. Now you're the story they whisper through clenched teeth, the roar that echoes in ruins, the shadow in every hallway where light dares not stay. They don't speak your name with pride. They whisper it like a curse. Because you didn't leave behind flowers. You left behind fire. The path you walked is scorched into stone. And every coward who tried to tame you now walks with eyes over their shoulder, praying not to hear your footsteps. You don't seek applause. You don't want monuments. You want silence. And silence is what follows fear. Your name? It won't be remembered. It will be feared. And fear lasts longer than fame ever could. You ran once, hunted, hated, chained like a problem they didn't know how to solve. But now you are the storm. And they are the paper walls in its path. Let them scatter. Let them trip over the lies they wrapped around you. Let them hide under the same silence they once forced down your throat. You don't chase revenge, you radiate it. They taste it in the wind before you arrive. They feel it in their bones when your name is whispered. You're not looking back. You're burning the trail behind you, torching every doubt, every scar, every chain, because the past no longer owns you. You own everything now, even their fear. No more begging, no more waiting, no more mercy. The beast is free. The throne is built. The world is trembling. Let them run now, because the hunter they created in secret just became the nightmare that hunts them forever.